sent me a text. I'm leaving you. I've moved to Miami with my 20-year-old babe. Also, I emptied our joint account. Haha, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I replied with 2 words, good luck. He laughed, but when he realized what I'd done, he wasn't laughing anymore. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who thought you'd roll over and cry, hit that like button. Because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. Stay with me, this one's about love, loss, betrayal, and one woman's silent, powerful justice. I married Jake when I was 27. We were college sweethearts, both scrappy and ambitious, building our lives from scratch. He wasn't rich, but he had charm and confidence. I had stability, a steady job, and a fierce sense of loyalty. For most of our marriage, I worked 2 jobs to help us stay afloat while he jumped from one failed startup to another. I believed in him. I believed in us. Even when we couldn't afford vacations, even when he forgot our anniversary 3 years in a row, I still defended him. Because that's what you do for someone you love. Right, wrong. About 6 months before everything imploded, I started noticing changes. Jake suddenly started going to the gym, not just casually, but obsessively. He got laser hair removal, started wearing cologne I didn't recognize, and constantly put his phone face down. At first, I blamed myself. Was I too boring, too tired, too predictable after 11 years of marriage? Then one night, I woke up around 2 a.m. and saw his side of the bed was empty. I found him on the patio, whispering into his phone, shirtless in the cold. When I asked what he was doing, he snapped, "It's work." That was the moment I knew. I didn't confront him, not right away. I watched, waited, listened. A few weeks later, I found a message on our shared iCloud account, a flirty text he accidentally synced. From her. She called him Daddy, and said she couldn't wait to start their life in Miami. I felt numb, not even angry, just hollow. So I did what I always do. I kept my cool, but I also started preparing. I met with a lawyer. Quietly, I moved half of our remaining joint funds into a new account under my name, legally protected since it was my income. I compiled every receipt, message, and screenshot I could find. I talked to my HR department and set up direct deposit into a secure account he couldn't touch. And the best part, I stopped mentioning money altogether. Jake, clueless as ever, thought he was in full control. He was already halfway to Miami, mentally and emotionally, and had stopped hiding his contempt. Then came the text. It was 7:14 a.m. on a random Tuesday. I was in the kitchen drinking coffee. My phone buzzed. "I'm leaving you. I've moved to Miami with my 20-year-old babe. I emptied our joint account." Haha, don't try anything. I remember looking at the screen. My hand didn't even shake. I just took a sip of my coffee, exhaled slowly, and typed. "Good luck." He didn't respond. Probably expected tears, begging, drama. But he didn't know me anymore. If he ever really did. What he also didn't know was that the joint account he drained was already cleaned out by me a week prior, down to the cent. What he emptied was an empty shell I left open on purpose. Just for him. What he also didn't know was that I'd already filed for divorce before he even left, and since he technically abandoned the marriage and relocated without notice, I got everything. The house, the car, 90% of our shared assets. Oh, and that business credit card he used to fly himself and his babe to Miami. It was under my name, but linked to a traceable transaction log. That meant his expenses. Fraud. My lawyer handled it. He tried to fight it. Of course he did. He called me, furious, when he found out his new account was frozen by court order. He screamed about betrayal, said I ruined his life. I calmly told him, "You sent a text. That's how you ended our marriage. And that's how I started your downfall." He lost everything. The girl, she was gone the second the money dried up. Apparently, she wasn't in it for love, just for the Miami lifestyle he couldn't afford anymore. The last I heard, he was working at a bar, crashing on a friend's couch, and telling anyone who would listen that his ex-wife was a psycho. Let him. Meanwhile, I kept the house, sold the car for an upgrade, and took a long overdue trip to Greece with my best friend. First class. There's a special kind of silence that hits someone when they realize they've been outplayed. Jake went from laughing in a text to screaming on the phone, and I never raised my voice once. He thought I'd be broken. Instead, I was 10 steps ahead. And by the time he realized what I'd done, it was already too late. Sometimes, revenge doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be angry. Sometimes, it's a calm cup of coffee, and a 2-word text. Sometimes, karma just needs a little push, and a woman who knows her worth. If this story gave you chills, or made you smile just a little, smash that like button and tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Don't forget to subscribe for more true Reddit stories that prove, karma never forgets.